This is a HeadGum podcast.
This week on We Hate Movies, strap on your leather skirt and put on your open-toe sandals because we're talking Clash of the Titans. I'm Andrew Jupin.
Steven Sadak.
Eric Swordska.
Cabinus.
And we hate movies. Welcome to We Hate Movies. Thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Summer Blockbuster Extravaganza 2022.
Yes, hello.
We're talking Louis Leterrier's Clash of the Titans from 2010.
I got to tell you, my Louis Leterrier knowledge is just way off because I keep getting him confused with Len Wiseman.
Oh.
Like I went to his IMDb. I'm like, this is the guy that did that shitty Total Recall remake. No, it's not.
Wow.
I was like, this is the guy that did a couple of those underworld movies. It's not.
I keep confusing him with like a little French dog.
Well, that's the thing. I don't. Is it
French
Leterrier or Leterrier? Because if it's Leterrier, then definitely Dogman.
I thought it was like a sequel to Air Bud where they meet a snooty French dog.
Yeah, Air Bud European Vacation.
Yeah,
It's just a little like puggle with a fucking beret and a cigarette.
Totally.
This is me, Louis Leterrier.
And they're playing soccer still.
Yeah, it's got to be soccer.
This is our football.
That's the only sport there is in France.
Air Bud, your piggish American football.
Louis Leterrier, The Incredible Hulk.
Yep.
That's right.
Them Transporter motion pictures.
That is correct as well.
Some other stuff. The dude gets around. I mean, he is currently, of course. I mean, stay tuned in some fashion or another. The newly installed director of Fast X.
Oh,
Yes.
right.
Is he really? Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I think I read that. And I thought it was a joke.
No, dude, he's who stepped in.
I
when
mean,
they
he's-
fired what's his face.
He's used to handling old supernatural creatures, so him and Vin Diesel should get right along.
He did that all of those episodes of the Dark Crystal miniseries
Oh, really?
that happened.
Oh yeah, I let that
forgot that
fly
happens.
right by.
That's like just filming, like very good puppet work. Like I bet he's just like, yeah, that looks great.
I will
Yeah.
say this movie is not good. It looks like nothing. It's a gray piece of shit.
Mhm.
I've never seen the original, but I was
Which
surprised.
fucking rules?
I was surprised how many puppets were in this movie. How much wasn't exactly CGI.
Pretty shocking. Pretty
I was
shocking.
What's
pretty-
shocking is the amount of puppets in the original. It's
Yeah.
like all puppets.
Yeah,
Oh,
all puppets.
Harryhausen, man, that's
so
a whole
fucking
different thing.
good. I just want to urge people to seek out the 1981 film.
I might do that because this movie was so almost okay. I was like, well, the original's got to be actually really good then.
Can I tell you, Steve? That's literally what I did today. I watched this movie and I was like, well, I'm kind of surprised I didn't hate it, but it's not a good movie in any capacity. And then the 1981 film is on HBO Max, and I popped that sucker on, and it's a fun time. And the biggest difference, there are a lot of them, but the biggest difference is that movie is like a fantasy, adventure epic. This is like a dumb edgelord action movie.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah,
the biggest,
exactly.
like taking itself so fucking seriously.
A big time video game feelings
Totally.
on this. This
Totally.
is very much pick up the sword. You have a new shield. You got it
Yep.
after defeating the Mega Scorpion.
Yeah, this movie has to be like revenge for my adopted family. We don't even see in the original movie.
Nope.
The original movie, it's just like basically a ticking clock. Like 30 days, we have to sacrifice Queen Andromeda or Princess Andromeda to the Kraken, and that's just the way it goes because a god said it, so you got to do it. And then it's just our main character going on these quests to try to save this woman, and he's kind of passive about some things, and it's just.
The
It's just a
dude, by
better
the
movie.
way, playing him in that movie,
Harry Hamlin.
Harry Hamlin.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And it's a
He was
wild.
hot back then.
I'm sure it was.
They filmed the movie in
Nice
They look hot in
1979.
Mad Men, dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, they filmed this movie in 1979. He is shirtless through most of it. And I got to tell you, he's got Eric, let me see if you feel this way. He's got a real Jim Morrison thing going on in that movie.
Yes.
It's kind of weird. It's like Jim Morrison's sword fighting scorpions and shit.
That sounds so much better.
Similar nose, kind of a 5 o'clock shadow-ish
The
thing
haircut,
yes,
definitely. It's really weird. This is Sam Worthington playing the Perseus character.
See, but I think we might have gotten better here if Sam Worthington, or hey, we've got a lot of hunks here, Mads Mikkelsen takes that, pop that shirt off, pop that plate off. Let me see some chests here.
I'm going to pop that plate off. Mads Mikkelsen.
I was surprised. I mean, this movie obviously saw the film 300 hardcore.
Oh, totally.
And it definitely watched the film 300.
And that's
3 years
2007?
Yeah,
something like that. I think, right?
Yeah, so that's at least. And it's that there's some Guillermo del Toroing going on, some little cribbing from Mr. Del Toro.
It's also right after Avatar, so we had to shove a 3D element in.
Well, that's what I put on my Letterboxd review. Like this movie dates itself in two hilarious ways. One, it's 2010, so it was a rule. It was a fucking law of the movie gods that both Sam Worthington and Gemma Arterton had to be in movies. Yep. So, like, if you look on both of their IMDb's, they both had like 4 or 5 movies in 2010 that they were in one capacity or another. And then the other thing is, 2010, this movie's released. We are definitely aping for the fucking simps out there that were doing the post-production 3D conversion shit. You're seeing scorpions flying at the screen in this movie, and it's just like, man, imagine those sons of bitches 12 years ago in the theater with the glasses on.
I think I was one of those sons of bitches.
Is that right?
I'm pretty sure I did go see this. Yeah, I don't know if I did 3D or not, but probably because now children listening who somehow stumbled on this, back then, almost every movie was getting a 3D release, and it was dominating.
If you were an action movie, you had an option to do 3D.
And it's cool because what it did was, and not only did it make the stuff jump off the screen, it also made everything darker, which was awesome. Oh, yeah. It just made it like muddier and shittier.
And if you took off your glasses, I hope you like fuzzy stuff.
It was also much more expensive, which is always much nicer. Is when you can get more suckers in. That's good.
What was
and
that?
Kids,
it was like $3 more or so.
At least, sometimes $5. And kids, if you can even fucking believe it, we were so pathetically obsessed with 3D presentation back then. For a small fashion, we started tricking people into buying TVs that could do it.
Oh, man, yeah.
Man, oh, man.
Are those still out there? Like, do you have to go to, like, a desert and, like, talk to a dealer who comes out of the stand?
Sony stopped making them, I'm pretty sure.
I think I read something in the New York Times that those worked like the Riddler TVs in Batman Forever. Like, they actually made you stupider. Like, they just, like, there's a big expose.
That makes total sense, because the one guy I know that did buy one, he was pretty dumb.
Speaking of pretty dumb, this starts off with some narration here. We're learning from Gemma Arterton that Titans ruled the world until, well, their kids fucked it all up.
Well, clearly she's going to be a major part of the film, and we're all going to feel very deeply for her.
And now World War God commences.
Well, it's cool because it's like, all right, and then Zeus and Poseidon and their best buddy Hades all got together.
Oh, yeah, the three bros.
Exactly. It's like, all right, Zeus gets heaven. Poseidon, he gets the water, 75% of the earth, that is. And then Hades, go down by those coats over there, Hades. Just take a right down by those coats.
Keep going. Keep going.
It's also hilarious how this whole movie, like, the antagonist is really Hades. Like, big time. Not in the original whatsoever.
Hades,
not even
nowhere to be found.
Not even mentioned.
Nope.
Because I mean, that's the weird part about making Zeus this like noble-ish figure. One, most of the god stuff is clearly cut out. You have people like Luke Evans and Alexander Siddig, just kind of, and even
tertiary,
Danny Houston, like around.
Oh, Danny Houston as fucking
Poseidon.
I almost said Aquaman, but as Poseidon. Fucking hilarious getup.
Like all scenes deleted clearly because they're like just like release the Kraken, bop, and then they cut.
Shouldn't that be my department as Poseidon?
Yeah,
no, okay, the devil. I feel like we Christianized this lore here for the American audiences, where it's like Zeus, there's clouds, think of him like God, and then Ray finds he's like the devil, okay?
Well, that's the thing, right? Because in the 81 film, when you see Mount Olympus and like the God office or whatever, it looks like the fucking Fortress of Solitude or something like that. Cool. You know what I mean? And this is like white columns, the smoke to make clouds.
And goddesses get a lot of input in that movie, which is something.
Big time.
They're not even in this.
Well, that's what bummed me out about this movie, because I like Greek mythology stuff, not in a huge way, but I'm always interested in those dudes mixing it up and fucking turning people into cows and all sorts of crazy shit. And none of that's in this, and it's just sort of like a dumb, again, 300-esque actioner.
Well, you do get, what if Ralph Fiennes, you play Voldemort as if he was a member of My Morning Jacket. You put the long hair on, you get the crappy beard, and you, oh, shit. Do you know where I went? I am the evil.
He is doing that. He's doing the Voldemort voice. I'm like, you can't do that again.
Dude, hang on, though. It's not just he's doing the fucking voice, man. The whole thing is exactly Voldemort, because at one point he's like, hey, man, I'm a little too. He's talking to the actual fucker. So Sam Worthington's
Pete Postlethwaite?
No. But
the king of wherever.
Yes.
The king of Argos.
Yeah. That guy.
Right, the guy that gets iced here, right?
The guy.
Yes. Yeah. And he's just talking. Oh my God, I totally lost my fucking train of thought. Sorry.
Hades is doing Voldemort.
Oh yeah. And he's telling him, he's like, all right, listen, I'm kind of too weak right now. I need you to do all my dirty work while I build up my power. And that's exactly what Voldemort does over all of those movies.
It's just insane. When he's doing the Harry Potter voice.
Oh, yeah.
I will get you, Harry Potter.
This is nothing like my character in Harry Potter. All I want to do is kill the son of a very important... Okay, you know what? You've got a little bit of a point there.
What right, Harry Perseus?
I mean, it's a math equation, right? Because they're just like, okay, that was popular, put him in there. Liam Neeson's got his little renaissance concurrently happening. Was this the same year as like A-Team or something?
That sounds right, yeah.
Oh, God.
This performance, though, and both of them, really, I think it had to be like Ralph Fiennes had to use the bathroom once, and he's like, oh, this is working? Okay, how long is it? Can I knock on the door again? Is anyone going to be in there for a very long time?
Oh, there's a little peak about to come out of my cock.
Somebody just open the... I know it's at Starbucks.
I'm about to become Liam Neeson on the street when he's constantly pissing himself.
I'm tiptoeing now. I'm tiptoeing outside of the room right now.
Speaking of a Liam Neeson movie you just mentioned real quick, I'm curious, has anyone seen that A-Team movie?
Yes, I saw it in the theater.
A-Team.
Oh, A-Team. Sorry.
Him, Bradley Cooper.
Oh, no.
A few other people.
John Hamm, I think it's a cameo or like a small role.
I caught some of it
Patrick
on TV.
Wilson's the villain.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's who I'm thinking of.
Patrick Wilson.
You know what? Honestly, I saw that movie. I can't tell you anything about it, but I remember Liam Neeson having the... he looks like the father on Johnny Quest in that thing.
He does. He absolutely does.
Totally does.
And I was like, kind of like, it's sort of working for me.
It's not a bad look. Him and Bradley Cooper are the two main stars.
Chartlow Copley.
Chartlow Copley, yeah, he's in that too. I forget who Mr. T's replacement is, though.
If someone doesn't open that door, I'm going to Charlton Copley everywhere. I'm Charltoing.
Now there's a mess on Mount Olympus.
Clean up on District 9.
Oh,
sick.
Well done.
But yeah, so there, we cut to Pete Postlethwaite's fishing, and he finds a boy in a box.
It's a boy in a box laying on his dead mom. And I gotta tell you again, this is a stupid. The coffin just comes up, and I don't want us to keep doing this because two of you guys haven't seen it, but the original movie, it's fucking hilarious because this scene is the first thing you see, but it's them dumping the coffin. It's like them getting forced in the coffin.
Get that lady in that coffin.
And then it's like they literally are just standing on the ocean filming this movie, and they throw a box into the water, and it's just they're filming it kind of just swimming away. It's fucking hysterical. But this is Pete Postlethwaite is fishing. Coffin comes up. They crack this thing open on the boat, and there's this dead woman inside holding little baby Perseus.
Yes.
Yeah. And this whole fisherman dad thing.
Sure.
You're trying to give heart to something and just ignoring the heart of.
Well, you got to have some dead
that
meats because this is after all apparently a revenge tale in this movie.
I mean, also you don't know that lady was its mother. Could just be any other corpse. They're like, hey, why waste the space? Put another dead body in here with the baby.
That's economical.
Well, I think because the movie tells us the dude murdered his wife.
But like Pete Postlethwaite doesn't know.
Oh, he's just like, it's like insulation. You know what I mean? You just want to make
totally.
sure you cram that in there so the baby doesn't jostle around too
We
much.
might as well talk about it now, right? Because Liam Neeson comes down and impregnates this woman.
I mean,
man.
that's the thing by making, and they never. I mean, because Zeus was raping people left and right, and that's what you're being true to the Greek.
Is that what was going on with that?
Oh
guy?
yeah, of course. And in this movie, they do that, and then at the end, he's like, "Well, thanks, Dad, even though you totally raped my mom by turning into an eagle and then turning into yikes, Jason Flemyng."
I had my way with her, but I was pretending to be Darth Vader with that little hat on. Revenge of the you were gonna do it.
It was literally what I was going to do. Yeah, because I had that thought watching the movie. I was like, oh man, Zeus is pulling a Revenge of the Nerds right now.
Oh my God, it's Liam Neeson, and they're going,
laughing like Leatherface and pissing his pants. Yes, awesome.
Well, Perseus, you were born out of vengeance, really. Like pure hate and vengeance, really.
But then he becomes dear old dad. You're like, well, that doesn't really scan.
No.
Including making sure at the end of this movie that his son goes on to get laid like it's a Rodney Dangerfield movie.
It's amazing.
What does he really like, other than the last thing? Like, what does he really do to make you like him, other than it's Zeus?
I mean, he gives him a bunch of stuff, but he does release the fucking Kraken.
He
Like,
does.
Yep.
That's the thing. He's the one who releases the Kraken.
And can I tell you, I mean, because that was the folks at home, if you don't remember.
Oh yeah.
Back when this movie came out, everybody thought that was the funniest fucking thing, and we were releasing Krakens left and right all over.
Well,
pop culture.
we were going Kraken crazy back then because around. Well, I don't.
It's also a
remember,
Norse creation, by the way.
Yeah, I forget what dates or time is, but Pirates of the Caribbean had a Kraken thing.
Yep.
Kraken was very big in the greater scheme of things. In even the 81 movie, they call it the Kraken.
Yeah.
That one is cooler because it looks like a creature from Black Lagoon.
Oh, yeah, it does. It looks like a Godzilla-shaped creature from the Black Lagoon.
pretty
It's
dope.
funny, yeah.
Yeah, but I think in the Greek mythology or something, it's not even called
No,
that.
it's called a
figure.
Cetus, I think it
There
is,
you
or
go,
something like
yeah.
that.
Oh,
And
well,
then-
that's, yeah. Well,
Well,
of course they
release-
rename it. It's
release
bad
the
branding.
Cetus. I mean, also, if you can get a Kraken rum, that dark spiced rum's pretty good.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is tough.
See, I'm always wary of booze where, like, the name is stupid.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm also not much of a rum guy, so I don't
Yeah.
know like what to trust and when. But I remember those commercials too.
Mhm,
And it
yes.
was just it was a guy basically mimicking this movie. They made them more like pirates though.
Yeah.
But he was saying release the Kraken, which in this movie though, it's fucking hilarious. I never knew the context with which it's delivered. And it's
Right.
like we're on Mount Olympus, we have all the gods around, and fucking Hades is like, Zeus, man, you gotta fucking do it. Look at this bullshit, man. You gotta do it. You gotta set this Kraken free. And Liam Neeson's like, all right, everybody get out of the room. I need to talk to my brother. And all the other gods vanish except for Hades. And then he just says it.
Yes.
Like he was embarrassed to say it from the rest of them.
Yeah, I feel like this. I feel got a lot of attention because it turned into a meme.
Yes.
Yeah, big time.
This was,
Yeah,
the,
and
so
honestly,
the only thing that came out of this movie
Can I
literally was
say
made for memes.
we need to return to
To-
tradition of these memes.
to meme
Because now, what is the biggest movie line currently? What are people talking? I'm a minion.
No one's quoting
Adam
the
Sandler's in Minions.
I thought you were doing the Sandman too. I was like, is he doing that in the basketball movie?
Hibbity doobity, I'm a minion.
Is that Hustle movie? Is he just doing that the whole time?
Well, and what I'm saying is, at least this is a line.
Yeah,
Sure,
it's a
yeah,
line
no.
delivered with some piss and vinegar. A lot of piss because it's Liam Neeson.
Piss and
Yeah.
pants, vinegar on the shirt. He was eating French fries before takes.
So whatever, and it's like, oh, and then Perseus kind of grew up for a while. There's this one scene where Perseus is a little kid, and like the mom, his adopted mom, is pregnant, and there's this scene. He's like, so you're gonna like love that baby a lot more than me because you didn't find that baby in a box. Like, no, get at it. What are you talking about?
Ridiculous.
No,
Well,
no.
son, it is kind of in a box if you think about it.
Listen, we're just no, we're a little creeped out by you, but what? No,
please.
get at it.
I don't too much anymore. Lay awake at night wondering just where it was you came from and if you'll decide to, like a light, just flick off and kill us one day.
I keep expecting you a little bit to turn into a centaur. Not gonna lie, just waiting for those. Every morning we do horse leg checks.
For about 10 years, I was checking your neck almost every night for gills because you came. I really cannot stress this enough. You came from the bottom of the ocean
in a box.
With a dead woman, honestly, probably your mother.
But we'll definitely love you just as much as we do our real, live, regular child.
There is a useless part where he's growing, because we're trying to give a tether to this relationship.
Yeah.
That we see him as a young, like not a baby, but a younger boy as well for a minute. And I'm like, why?
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah,
I'm saying why.
No, I agree, though, because, like, again, I want more Greek god shit. I want to see how the hustle and bustle of Mount Olympus.
I bet you anything. Well, like, this is how I always imagine it happens, is they're laying out, like, what's going to happen in the movie. And they're like somebody on staff's like, what about adopted kids? You should make them feel good about themselves. Why about the adopted kids?
Because I think in that 81, like you see like a woman with big honking breasts breastfeeding him.
Well, that's the thing. In the movie, in the 81 movie, I'm pretty certain the mother's actually not dead.
Well, that's the true myth, is the mother doesn't die.
Yeah, so that's they both come out of the box, and
yes.
she's just walking around with these fucking hooters in this
Which
movie.
is fantastic. And this is why it's a fantastic film.
The 2010 could have used some fucking boobs and some wieners.
Yeah, I mean,
it's R-rated Clash of the Titans is what I'm really going for. Here.
R-rated, but not venturing into like a porno.
Look, I'm not looking for Brazzers of the Titans.
I mean, first of all, you can find it.
Ass of the Titans.
The original is probably PG or G.
It's PG,
and it goes harder than this.
Well, of course, because we're
this video game shit.
One thing, Louis Leterrier disowned this movie, which is really saying something.
Oh wow!
When Louis Leterrier is like, "Not this isn't for me," and Alexander Siddig, who plays Hermes for like 4 seconds, said, "Oh yeah, one of my finest roles. I have so many stories about that experience. I don't know where to start." He bursts out laughing, and then he says, "That's probably the lamest movie I've ever been in." I mean, there are times when you do duds, and it must have been rubbish, because there was all this 1 minute of my performance that I have done to end up in that movie. So 50% of my performance was cut, and there's not much you could say about that. So clearly there was a lot more Mount Olympus shit, because you cast all these people.
Oh yeah. These are like big. I mean, these are known actors playing these characters.
But am I sitting there for 2.5 goddamn hours watching Siddig with this fucking wig they put on him, and like, and like Danny Houston be like, "I am an actor."
Yeah.
Hello.
I mean,
4 people passed, and now you have summoned Danny Houston.
The movie comes in at like $1.46.
Yes,
you could put in an extra 15 minutes
or
so. Get it around 2 hours. It's fine.
But then also you cut out a lot of this other shit. Now you got more. You just got to move around the Jenga blocks a little bit.
The other thing of seeing him as a little kid and shit, and then it cuts to 12 years later, and he's an adult and everything. It's just to really hammer home like he had a good life with his adopted family, so that when they are murdered by Hades momentarily here in a huge tidal wave that sinks the boat and drowns them all, it gives more credence to like this revenge tale, which like is so just edgelord shit.
Who cares?
Nice little adventure.
That's the
movie.
thing is, I want, like, if you're gonna do that little kid segment, I need that extra 15 minutes there. I need to actually know what this fucking family is.
Yeah.
Maybe see them off this boat that is unchanging between decades.
And I would suggest he isn't that sad about them dying, I would even suggest. Because what happens is one day an army is, I forget what their name is, they're taking down the Zeus statue.
Yeah, the Argos' army, soldiers from Argos.
It's being thrown into the ocean, and that summons Hades, and he goes bug fuck and like throws goddamn death at everybody.
But remember, like, there's anti-God sentiment going around. Even Pete Postlethwaite is like, there's no fish, fuck God, fuck every God, fuck you all.
He's absolutely right to do so. But the night before, Sam Worthington is up late at night and looks at his family, and they're sleeping in a family bed.
Yeah, it's one big bed.
And he's thinking, you know what? I got to get out of this situation. You know what? I am Sam Worthington age. I need to be out of here.
I'm going to get that golden ticket, and I'm getting out of here to tour that chocolate factory.
I do love 2 things. One, they knocked this enormous statue of Zeus, the Argos soldiers, into the water. And it doesn't cause quite as much of a tidal wave as it should, because this statue is like the size of the Empire State Building. Yes, exactly.
That was kind of, I was like, when it's coming down and you see the little boat, I was like, here it comes.
Exactly.
And then it's just kind of like sploosh, and
No.
the boat still capsizes.
But then Hades shows up and releases literal Death Eaters at them. Again, Harry Potter is everywhere here.
Yeah.
Look, it's called the victory lap.
I kind of want, like, for the rest of the movie, like, Sam Worthington first to be like, my family was killed at sea by a god. It was Hades. Damn it. Like, no, you mean Poseidon. Like, no, Hades was. But wouldn't it be Poseidon? It was in the sea. This guy's got it all mixed up.
Something fell into the water. That's all the sea had to do with it. I'm telling you.
But it was in the sea. It had to be Poseidon. Just tell. This fucking jerk off doesn't know what he's talking about.
Look, Mac, don't tell a fucking story if you can't get the details right. All right?
Zeus, I should have told you. I was on lunch. I let Hades take over for a half hour while I ate a few planets.
I told you, you were the sea. Oh, I'm so sorry you couldn't catch fish today, Mr. Fisherman. We'll need $7 and more prayers. And then certainly everything will be fixed. I'm as upset about the fish as you are, Fisherman. Why don't you just give us $7 more?
Mr. Fisherman, I'm going to cut to the chase. Things aren't good.
You're right. It's all thoughts and prayers. That's what's now motivating these gods to continue to be immortal, just like Nancy Pelosi's fundraising emails.
Perseus, this is Pelosius. We need your help right now, Caps.
Anybody catch who this adopted mom is? This
did not.
Marmara?
No.
It's Elizabeth McGovern, friends. From Downton Abbey and previous episode of Shock to the System.
Got it.
Another
Okay.
thing.
Once Upon a Time in America. Phenomenal movie.
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I always like seeing Postlethwaite pop up too. You know?
Oh,
So
yeah.
this was one of his last things. He died a year later.
I totally forgot he was dead.
Yeah,
man.
He died, and I think The Town is the same year as this. Yeah,
I think The Town's his last movie.
The Town's he's good in The Town. The
Yeah.
Town's like an okay movie,
I
but
need
he's very good.
I need to go back to that. I haven't seen it since it came out.
That is a fucking Sunday afternooner if you ever fucking ask
yeah.
for one.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's a dad for noon is what it is.
Very nice.
And
Bringing it back.
So all these I guess they're Furies possibly.
Is that a thing?
That's what-
I was calling them big bats.
That's what Wikipedia told me.
Oh,
that these
really?
are Furies. So
I was
that's
like,
fine.
are these harpies? What are these?
Harpies.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, it could have been
Harpies
Harpies.
are winged.
Yeah,
Oh,
Harpies
I
are
don't-
things.
I don't know what things are.
But I don't know. I mean, like they don't. Wikipedia said Furies, so I'm going to say Furies.
Sure.
Furies.
Yeah.
Well, at one point, it's hilarious.
Furries?
These things all start like. No,
Listen,
they're definitely
I'm
not
going to
furries.
unleash a bunch of guys that go to a convention center.
Release the Furies.
They're all like hugging us and being really nice to us. Maybe a little too nice.
They're very nice, but their costumes, I assure you, are covered in cum.
Oh, God.
Release the bronies.
Certainly better than what I'm covered in right now.
They wound up, the Argonauts are Argos soldiers Argonauts? Is that how that happens? The word Argonaut doesn't show up here, so I'm not going to say
Well,
it.
the thing is in the
Where's Jason in all this? Is my question.
He's in New Jersey. Argos is literally destroyed at the start of 81, and is
really?
literally not mentioned again. The city's
got
a Joppa in that version. So,
Oh, interesting. So
I don't know.
the Argos soldiers grab Perseus. They're like, sorry, dude, your family's dead, but now you're just with us. And we cut back to Olympus, and you do see, I guess the Zeus thing, we're kind of going for a Marlon Brando and Superman 1 thing with this outfit.
Well, I'm saying, dude,
guess so.
a lot of this looks like the Fortress of Solitude. I think it is going over into the costumes as well. He's wearing just this big white suit coat thing.
Yes.
I kind of think the shimmery thing might have worked if the design of the room wasn't so shitty.
Exactly.
I just I don't
Right.
like this. Like them. Like, are you actually stepping on the earth when you go back? Like, ah!
Well, that's
Hello.
You know, can I get a fucking toga in this movie?
I would love a toga. I would love like a real set. If they were in a
Yeah.
real
Yeah,
set, because I mean, like
yes.
again, you think about the Krypton set and like all that, like how that shimmery shit worked.
Yeah.
It worked because they did all that stuff, and it's a real tactile thing.
Real light
Yeah.
hitting real sets.
Exactly.
The one thing I do like about this Mount Olympus thing is that the view of like the Earth,
Yeah.
and like Hades at one point is just like walking over it, and like the little clouds are breaking up under his feet.
Yeah.
Oh, that was visually interesting.
And then Hades shows up. They're all talking shit about you.
They all say you're a loser.
They're roasting you on the TL.
You should be really embarrassed.
I know that you stay off Twitter, but you should name search yourself sometime. It gets real bad. Apollo, tell him.
Since we're brothers known as mutuals, I had to come to you with this knowledge.
There's 50,000 "this you" comments.
Let me unleash me on them, brother. I will participate in that flame war on your behalf.
What is going on with? Oh, sorry.
Do what you will. No, that's just what Liam Neeson says to him. He gives him the okay to go do
What's
this,
going on with Hades' scalp exactly?
Yeah, it's why, and especially when you're living in a place like the flaming heat of the underworld, dude, you put sunscreen on the noodle.
You know what? That might be it, but I was feeling more cirrhosis. Hades, he's not totally immortal. He can get a little disease here and there.
That's true.
And you've got to treat that shit. There's new medicine out there. Come on, Hades. You got to keep up with things.
That's true.
I'm
sick.
I'm always itching and stingy.
And he's just like, oh, cool. And then I'll just go back to Hell World because everything sucks down there. Thanks again, by the way. Looks really, can I stay for dinner?
Oh, nice. It appears Mount Olympus has air conditioning. That's great.
Just going back to my ocean of intestines that I live in.
Oh, wait. Oh, wow. Are those lutes? That sounds so much better than wailing and screaming.
Oh my God. It is really wild that this movie goes for Hades so hard. Like we get the river Styx eventually.
Yeah.
We move Medusa down to the underworld. Yeah,
I was confused by all that.
That was a bit much.
Maybe I forget, but she was just in like a cave somewhere.
Well, it's after
was that actually the underworld?
They cross the river Styx.
No,
though.
in the first one though.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I was smoking weed
because so was I.
Smacking, man.
The boatman in the 1981 version. It's just a skeleton puppet.
Oh, that's fun.
Which is pretty fucking rad. And he does because when they goes to pay him, instead of what happens in this movie where a djinn throws the coin in the water for the bride.
Djinn will get in there.
My God. And also no djinns in the original.
The skeleton just sort of like puts its little puppet hand out. They put the coin in it.
That's so much cooler.
Oh,
I
yeah.
like that.
It fucking rules.
Yeah, these djinns, my God. I know we're all over the place in this episode, but it doesn't matter because you didn't like the movie anyway. So, but
they might not have even watched it, Eric. You don't even know that.
They didn't watch it. That's fine. But so they're monsters.
They're monster
like people who are not Greek, which is English in this version, in every version. They are literal monsters, and they're called, they're djinns, and they use magic, and their society is like Tuscan Raiders.
Yes,
Yeah.
and apparently the language they do speak is Arabic, which is
That's what the IMDb trivia says too.
Really?
But when I had the subtitles on Apple, it just says whenever they speak, it just says djinn language. And I was like, all right. And then I saw that, but like the characters' voices are so modded.
You can't hear a goddamn thing anyway.
I couldn't tell if it was actual language.
What are we even trying? They look like a bunch of branches or something.
Dude,
put
it's
together,
shit that you would see in Star Trek.
Well, what we're trying to do, it's 300. We got a lot of 300 in this.
Which 300 had Monstars in it also, didn't it?
It did, but also I think we're trying to make a little bit of a fellowship of a bunch of different kinds of people.
That's
You
fair.
see, and we're gonna
Fellowship of the fucking losers.
I
mean, that's
you want your movie to be as popular as Fellowship of the Ring.
Andrew Divoff should have been in this movie. by the way.
Absolutely, should have been the djinn, the lead djinn.
Totally.
there will be a trilogy. There's going to be 2 movies. We're not.
That's right. Oh, bring my brethren into your movie, then you'll get a sequel.
I believe those are duologies.
Yeah, I'm fun.
Well, no, I'm just saying because you just inspired the thought of. I think the first time I ever heard that was when people would talk about the first 2 Blade movies before Trinity came out, and it would be like, now on DVD, the Blade duology. And I was like, is that real, or are you just making that up?
It is true. I think that is what it's called.
Got an Argos party, which goes so hard it don't stop, where we're all just like, all these soldiers just got slaughtered for fucking with the gods. And they're like, we showed those fucking gods eat shit.
Oh, dude, well,
Eat
it's
shit.
Queen Cassiopeia fucking talking shit to the heavens.
Uh-huh.
King Cephas or something,
Yeah.
Sisyphus. I don't remember the dude's name.
Yeah.
But like these guys, they are just drinking, eating, fucking, and fighting, and all they're talking about is fuck you, gods. Fuck humans are great.
so
Fuck you.
funny. I mean, I guess that's what the Supreme Court viewed what we were doing down here. So
they had to put a stop to it.
Yeah.
Is Cassiopeia who dies in the original too?
Which one is that? The lady?
The queen.
What do you think?
I don't.
I watched it yesterday. But
I don't recall.
They don't really have this.
It's just weird.
Andromeda in
princess.
this movie is also who he's trying to save in the original.
The original movie, basically the setup is like they're saying that Andromeda is so beautiful, this, that, and the other thing, and that's sacrilegious. Some goddess comes down, inhabits the statue in this. Instead of Hades showing up, it's like a statue gets inhabited by the god.
Okay.
Played by Maggie Smith, by the way.
Played by Maggie Smith, who says, like, I can't believe this. Fuck you. How dare you say this lady's better than this other lady? Fuck you. And also, you really fucked up my son. Calibus is a character also in this briefly. He's the ugly guy that's sort of goat-esque.
Oh, okay.
He's the
major player.
He's like the major villain of the first movie.
I mean, I was just asking.
He gets his hand cut off in the first movie. That kind of inspires this. How dare you touch my son? Because Maggie Smith's god person, he's also a demigod like Perseus, but like an evil version. And he's barely fleshed out in this version at all, even though he's in it for some reason. And in this version, his blood is what spawns those scorpions. In the original version, Medusa's blood is what spawns the scorpions.
I mean, the thing I was pointing is that, like, I mean, that's good to know. I guess that's all shit that they cut out a lot. But the thing is like, it was weird to me that they say, like, this woman has to get, like, probably the worst death, one of the worst deaths in the movie. Like, why not go for the king, the guy who, like, inspired all this shit? Was it really just because she had the
She's running her mouth, dude.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I mean,
this lady's running her mouth.
That is
watch your girl, bro. Why don't you watch your girl?
Get your girl on a leash, bro.
No, I'm going to take your girl bro.
But at the start of this, I think like towards the start of the 81 one, when they send baby Perseus out, this entire city is leveled, and it's very cool in that version.
It's another huge creature comes out
and
and
it's
fucks
just
them all
like
up.
Like the flooding and the water and little people going like, eh. They're doing really cool camera tricks in that one.
That's nice.
I just want to say that Cassiopeia is played by Polly Walker, who played the exact same role on Rome. Like the exact.
Oh, is that right?
It was a real, like, you want to do that? It's like basically like how Sopranos actors would just show up in different mob movies. Yeah. That's kind of what this is.
Well, that's so funny because the guy playing the king, her husband in this movie, I looked that dude up. He's in all these sword and sandal
Of course,
things.
dude. That's you get typecast.
Look, we got Ray Fiennes doing his old thing. You guys doing your old thing.
Anybody watch that Rome program?
I did.
Oh, yeah.
I liked it
really
until
good.
they just kind of fucked it up at the end. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, it just ended.
It just canceled. They canceled the show. They're like, let's condense season 3 into 1.5 episodes, kind of a thing. Instead of
one of the guys was dying of cancer, wasn't he?
I just heard that it was too expensive. Like, it was
is that right?
Like, no, we're not making money on this.
Was that Milch?
No, it wasn't.
Was it Spartacus that died or something?
Oh, you're totally right. I'm mixing up shows.
Oh, okay.
I didn't see that one either, but maybe I should go back and watch some good old fashioned 2010s Hunkavision.
Oh, I like that.
You know? Let's see what Spike TV was playing on Wednesday night.
The Blade TV show. That's what it was.
Cassiopeia's like, oh, my daughter, everybody, my daughter's so fucking hot. You'll never even believe it. Hotter than any of those shitty gods. And then Hades shows up and he's like, oh, you think you're so much better than everyone? I'm going to fucking turn you into Senate.
There is a great moment where, like, she's going off screaming about how her daughter's so gorgeous and fuck the gods and this, that, the other thing. And the king Sisyphus or whatever is like, hey, babe.
Yeah.
Hey, you maybe want to tone it down. They're listening to everything we're saying.
Even what's her face? Even the daughter is like, Mom, please. Oh, you're embarrassing.
No. We will be selling her bathwater in just a few minutes.
And in the background of this scene, like Andromeda meets Perseus or whatever, because at that point he's been taken to the town by the Argoan whatever Argonauts, cosmonauts that saved him from the water.
Ooh, the cosmonauts. That's a real twist for this movie. Holy shit.
Aquanauts.
It would be cool if like a Planet of the Apes. kind of scenario, but Greek mythology where a Russian cosmonaut comes back from space, and now it's just Greco-Roman times.
I've never looked. I bet you there is some like Russian knockoff of Planet of the Apes somewhere out there.
It's about a Russian guy that goes to space and comes down and lands in America and thinks he's in fucking hell.
He kills himself immediately.
What are these disgusting pig creatures? What have they done to society?
Why are they all wearing Minion t-shirts?
You hogs! You blew it up! You goddamn hogs!
Yeah, he's looking at the actual Statue of Liberty saying that.
But, whatever. Hades comes out. He's like, oh, you think you're hot shit? Not really. He's like, you have 10 days, or I will send my beloved Kraken down to burn your city to the ground. Does he turn
unless you kill your daughter?
Yes, unless you kill your daughter. Does he turn Cassiopeia to stone? What does he do to her?
Oh, he
just the soul suck?
He's like,
that's
you
right.
think you're so fucking hot, lady, huh? You and your huge rack and your motor mouth. Watch this. And he makes her old and ugly.
Right.
That's cool.
Yeah. You think you're so hot? Hey, older.
You look as gorgeous as the lady at the end of Titanic.
And now everyone's like, oh, who's this Perseus guy? I heard a lot of stuff about him. And like, oh, yeah, that Perseus. I keep hearing, he's shooting up in the ranks. Everybody likes him.
Yeah, I heard his dad is fucking God. Talk about nepotism.
That's what I mean. You go on his Wikipedia page, and all of a sudden you hit the early life hyperlink to Zeus. You're like, well, that fucking figures. Of course.
It doesn't say Zeus. It just says his father, but the word father has the hyperlink. And you're like, that's all I need to know.
He realized he had powers gifted to him by his father Zeus.
All right, just who's he related to?
The New York Times is telling me that's how Perseus bought an apartment downtown.
Yeah.
He somehow squeaked it out.
The New York Times engagement registry for Io and fucking Perseus. She was cursed with immortality. His father's a god, and they made it work.
Yeah.
Somehow.
And then they renounced the throne and moved to Canada and started a podcast that they never made episodes of.
Oh, man.
Right? Did that ever come out?
No,
Wait, what happened? What were you talking about?
Prince Harry and Meghan.
Oh, yeah. And they did what now?
They got like $100 million deal from Spotify or somewhere to like make a podcast, and I think they just didn't.
They're not going to do that. No. They're the royals. They can do whatever the fuck they like.
Podcasting.
Fucking people.
Yeah, we got enough Perseuses in the business. Trust me.
Well, actually, we are in a throuple with Justin Trudeau.
Did they give them this podcast deal the same way his old man takes deals, man? There's literally a sack of money.
That's right, a sack of money. So, and that, pay attention to the sack of money. Don't look at the sack of children we're handing them too. I assume.
That's his brother.
Yeah. Oh, right. That's confirmed. So there's definitely someone weaseling them into Buckingham.
There's a great thing where they're like Perseus is getting roughed up around you because all the soldiers are like, fuck this guy, fuck this supposed demigod, whatever.
Yes.
Mads Mikkelsen is one of these soldiers, Drago or whatever, roasting him over a fire, just bullying him.
Yes.
And there's like a big fire pit where they're like cooking dinner, and he's like, "You're going to sit over this now."
King, he's not even done yet. Let me get a little bit of a crisp on the edges here.
And they like lock him in a dungeon. Then Io shows up, and she's like, "Hi, by the way, I'm a fucking god too," or like I was cursed with immortality.
Which is this is some wild shit. These gods, they need to be reined in, man. Because she's like, I'm immortal because I refuse the advances of a god.
Yes.
And this dude just made me live forever. And he's like, well, I don't think that sounds too bad. I'm here in a jail cell and all my adopted family's dead. And she's like, yeah, but I don't age and I watched all my family and loved ones age and die around me. So go fuck yourself, dude.
By the way, I was there when all that shit went down with you. And then she explains how fucking Liam Neeson turned into a bird, fucked his mother, and all that stuff happened.
I love the reenactment shots of like, they got the actor playing the king to come into the room to do it. And
Jason Flemyng, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. And then
Mr. Hyde himself. Or I guess just Dr. Jekyll.
And then like lightning strikes, he turns around. It's like, oh, but I'm really Liam Neeson.
And Liam Neeson has the biggest "I just fucked your wife" face that I've ever seen.
Wild.
Right to the camera, he gives it.
Grinning ear to ear. It's the only time anyone smiles in this movie.
Zeus, you're God. You're a handsome fellow. Yes, Liam Neeson is handsome.
Oh, yeah.
Like just fucking put the moves on the lady.
Exactly.
You don't
She's
have to
like,
do
hey,
this
how's
trick.
it going?
You
Take her out to a nice dinner.
It's a bigger treachery if you get her to fuck Zeus willingly versus just impersonating her husband.
Yeah, and this is before his wife passed, so the life is still in his eyes. He's bringing it as Zeus. He wants to be there.
Was she alive in 2010?
I believe so.
I think so. Yeah, I think she died like 2011. Maybe.
2012, I think.
Because I just sort of
Google the.
I see
make sure I'm not.
Neeson in a movie like around this time, and he's looking ridiculous. It smells of desperation. I'm like, well, your wife must be dead at this point.
Yeah.
I just assumed this was post
2009.
Oh, yes,
wow.
there you go. Yeah.
Shit.
Lenox Hill Hospital, New York, New York.
Oh, God.
Favorite thing. So so this dude is like, oh, now my wife is pregnant with Zeus's baby. I don't think so. And he puts her, Jason Flemyng puts her in a box and he throws her off and he starts like dancing. And it's like, and then he gets hit with lightning. He's like, somehow the gods are defending themselves. I can't believe it. It's like, yeah, dude, that's how that shit works.
It is like fucking what's his face, Ted Knight getting electrocuted in Caddyshack. Because he's just holding this sword up like, yeah, fuck my wife and fuck you. And then lightning strikes the sword. Blasphemer! It is just a comical ass moment in this movie.
And whatever. She's like, yeah, so you're a demigod. And Sam Worthington is like, yeah, that's right. Well, I hate all gods and I'm not going to be a god ever. I'm going to kill Hades and do all this bad shit.
Which is just shut the fuck up, dude.
Yep.
You're part God. Go with it.
Exactly.
The resisting, like him joining in like this crusade against the gods seems a little wishy-washy, and him rejecting that sword and stuff. The original movie, he gets that sword. He's like, "Oh, cool, great,
Yeah, of course,
awesome."
Well, because he uses it anyway. So like, then what's the point of him being a hypocrite?
Because we feel like in screenwriting school, they're like, the hero must resist the call to adventure.
Sure,
but they keep doing it
but that's
multiple times.
He's not resisting the call. He's just resisting better munitions.
Yes, because he wants to do it as a man and prove how great men are. And it's like, buddy, I know men.
And this might be the most there's a lot of moments, but this is one of the most video gamey moments. The light from the sword is coming out from the grass.
I thought we were about to get a lightsaber for a second.
Yes.
It's treated as
like, whoa.
It's absolutely treated as a lightsaber because when someone else is holding it, it's just like a rod.
So
then later in the movie, when he grabs it, it ignites like a lightsaber.
Yes, it sure does.
Sucks.
I mean, it's also like you've equipped Sword of God.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
All right, I'm going to have to go into the forest, beat some other smaller minions and monsters, get my XPs up. Then I'll be able to fight the Medusa.
Did someone say minions?
Yes, I'm even alive back now.
But Io says to him, or he's like, look, I just want to fucking kill Zeus. And she's like, well, you were born to kill the Kraken. Or I want to kill Hades, excuse me.
Yes.
And she's like, if you kill the Kraken, which you were born, that's your birthright, you're born to do, Hades will be so weak at that point that he will then be, fallible. You'll be able to murder him or whatever you want to do. So he's like, all right, let's kill me a Kraken.
No, but if you want to kill Hades, I'm sorry, it's not in the, that's really not going to be happening.
Really
so you kill Zeus, you kill Kraken, Hades then is going to take the, that might be a problem.
So he is sort of like sidled with a team of Argos soldiers here. Mads Mikkelsen, Nicholas Hoult, the Hound.
The Hound is there
Very
for
young, the Hound, which is pretty crazy.
Liam Cunningham.
Davos Seaworth himself.
Yes.
That's right.
Yep.
And just like this literal fellowship. Then these two other, I guess these guys are supposed to be Turkish or whatever their situation is. These
they're supposed to
brothers.
Be like comic relief briefly, but then they just walk out of the movie at some point.
And then they come back at the end. You're like, oh, right, they were in this movie.
One moment.
It's bad.
It's a weird thing. And I think both of the actors are Israeli, so I didn't know if we were trying to do something with that.
Well, they're definitely supposed to be other. Like,
you're right.
Yeah,
definitely supposed to be other, just like the Jinns. Which I guess it's the fellowship thing. We're trying to expand the world. But how about this? Don't. Give some funny lines to Nicholas Hoult or whatever. Because all he does in this movie is goes, I don't know.
Until he just then turns to stone and dies by Medusa's eyes. Yeah.
Let us add these two gypsies some traitors to our league.
Well, because they're very much like, we're not soldiers and whatnot. We're hunters. We can like kill any beast that you come across, blah, blah, blah. And Mikkelsen has a good line here where he's just like, okay, if you can keep up and you don't mind dying, you can come along.
It'd be great if he was doing his another round thing of just kind of micro-dosing booze this entire trip.
Yes.
He just does a dance in front of Medusa.
Oh, yeah.
That is one of the best final sequences in the last 15 years.
It is a great movie and a way to live.
It
It's
is.
definly how I podcast.
Yeah,
Yes.
nothing bad happened to any of those guys. in that
No, it was a
movie.
fucking great time. They were party on, dudes.
Didn't you see the ending? They party at the end. What could
do.
be better than partying?
Exactly.
That's how I remember it. I was pretty buzzed at the time.
Yeah.
It's kind of hilarious here because they're like, all right, we're going out on this quest or whatever. And instead of like, oh, our heroes are going out to save us all, thank you, this appreciation, all of these, like, the villagers are like, don't go, you're fucking leaving us for dead.
Well, also the thing of it is like, okay, the entire fucking town of millions of people, or this one lady, because you fucked around and you found out. Sorry, you got to kill your daughter.
Yep.
We're in olden times. This is how shit works.
Yep.
I don't like it any more than you do, but the math is the math.
and that's
Kill
like,
that princess.
Yes, I say kill the princess, but like if his motivation was to save her for a reason beyond killing the devil, I think it would be more compelling.
Apparently, originally they were supposed to get together, him and her, but they cut that out and they made it with Io because it tested whatever. Like
what the fuck?
What? Like, or maybe this producers thought it didn't work that they get together. So like at the end when he's like, nah, I can't be your king for no reason. Bye.
If they didn't show the mother in that first shot, I would assume Gemma Arterton was the ghost of his mother coming back in certain scenes.
Oh, sure.
She's just like, she seems completely divorced from the movie.
Yes.
Like,
I was having the same bit of difficulty where I was like, can they see her and hear her and all of that?
There is a lot of that in this movie because they go out and blah blah blah. There's
a lot. Speaking of Lord of the Rings, I mean, there's a lot of walking in this.
There's a lot of walking.
There is,
There's a couple training sequences that I don't need.
You don't need it, and I don't need them fucking riding scorpions.
Well,
either.
it takes a while for the scorpions to show up. When the scorpion does show up, it took me a really long time to figure out, like, are there a lot of scorpions?
Yes,
Is
thank
there
you.
is there more than one?
Yes.
Like, again, and that's like just bad filmmaking.
It is the worst edited scene in the movie by a country mile.
Because by the time you realize that there's 3 or 4, you're like, oh, I thought it was just one.
I thought they were all converging on one to fight it, and then I was like, oh, they've branched off and they're fighting like 4 of them. Wait a second.
you don't get the moment of like, there's another one.
Exactly.
Like,
That's
you
how you
literally
do
are
that.
like, oh, they kill one, and you're like, oh, it's over.
I promise I'll stop talking about the 81 version soon, but seeing like those scorpions were like the size of bears or so, and I feel like that's easier to manage on the eye. It's still fucking threatening and it's scary and it's interesting.
Yeah.
I just hate that we have to make everything the size of a fucking building.
Yes, of course.
Well, this is
We already
specifically-
have the fucking Kraken. I don't need the scorpion crack and the land Kraken.
but what looks better as a video game? The big computery scorpions.
Question.
It looks very video gamey,
I
so I
know.
want that
Oh,
because I'm an idiot.
Is Jason,
Wait, can someone isolate that? That
is
I'm
Jason
an idiot
Flemyng
line?
a giant in this movie or no? Is he bigger than everybody, or maybe I just read it wrong?
He's got a very
Acrisius is just
A big
dude.
monster.
yeah,
dude,
large personality.
Okay, yeah. Because Hades goes up to him, he's like, hey, man. Because Creasy is just like, now he's just drunk, he's deformed. He's like,
Well, that's
no,
the fucking
dude,
funniest
why
thing.
don't you and I hook up?
I just assumed, because that is a massive and hilarious lightning strike.
Yeah.
I was like, that dude's dead. And then, when Hades goes to him in this cave, he's hiding underground like the Phantom of the Opera,
Yeah.
dude. He's all fucked up. He's wearing a cloak. He's not playing the organ. Big mistake.
Yeah, I would like an organ or a piano.
Why don't you kill my enemy and I'll kill yours, crisscross.
That's exactly, dude. I wrote crisscross in my notes because he's like, all right, you go ahead, you kill Perseus, and I will kill Zeus for you. How about that, buddy? Zeus fucked your wife. You're really mad about that. I will kill him for
And
you.
in that original, fuck, I'm saying it again. But he was known as, he also was Calibus in that or whatever, at the back and forth. But I think in that one, he was like deformed because he like killed like all the Pegasuses or something.
Oh, there is something about
Some
he's
line.
killed all but one Pegasus.
That's
for
pretty
some-
cool.
Yeah.
It's cooler.
But
Yeah.
So Acrisius and Perseus have this fight right here, and it is a fucking hilarious arm bite that this dude gets off on Perseus is just Sam Worthington like, oh, crikey, he's biting me arm.
I mean, that's what every father yearns to do, bite their son. Take a hunk out of their arm.
And it was right here that I noticed some of this edgelord shit even makes its way into the score because they are doing like really low notes on like a cello or like an upright bass to just get you this like chugging like
and then there's parts, I mean, with the Lord of the Rings, it sounds like Lord of the Rings score too, and on top of that they like put drop D tuning guitars for certain scenes. I don't get why exactly. It gets more intense in stream.
Well, for this fight right here, it does get pretty intense because Acrisius, with his new Hades powers that he gets, because Hades basically spits in his face and like kind of heals him and supercharges him a little bit. So he's kind of like a super shredder.
Got it. Okay, nice.
And he's going, and he's
Kevin Nash, better move.
Yeah, exactly. He like, so he does the arm bite, but then like he's fighting all these soldiers. He definitely does a one-handed Jason Voorhees head crunch on it.
Yes,
but I think it's just on the helmet. The guy's like, "Hey, stop! I'm not going to be able to get it off."
Whatchamacallit? Then the Hound gets killed by a scorpion here.
I was pretty bummed to see the Hound eat shit so soon.
Yeah, he gets stabbed.
You want him, he wanted him to be around. And it looks lost. What do you call it there? Obviously, Sam Worthington like goes through a scorpion. That's kind of fun.
We gotta have someone coming out of a thing, and actually, it's a cool. He's bursting out of a model. He's covered in actual goop. Yes, thank you. IRL goop. You know,
Nickelodeon gack.
But then these Jinn show up, man, and then just start
my God. And it's like, I fought against them in the wars.
One of the wars.
Yeah.
If you got a more like yellow look, this is kind of what I assume. Like if you ever put it to film, what the Phalanx would look like.
Yes.
These guys.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's kind of the look it would look for me.
What's that?
It's an arc in the X-Men comic books. It's like a disease that
because that's also a Greek thing, right? That's the move they do.
Yes, you do a Phalanx. It's about a bunch of people coming together, kind of a thing.
No, I should have. Yeah, delineated.
I'm
Sorry
just
there.
We've got listeners in ancient Greece.
It's true.
It's the only podcast to travel through time.
Wouldn't that be something?
That would be something.
George Washington's listening to our episode on K9/11.
We got smarter people listening to this, like build a time machine, folks.
Hades, Scorpius, Mingois.
In this scorpion fight, also, not to backtrack too much, but it's so much of the you're watching it in 3D, right? Because these scorpions are flying at the camera. You got claws and stingers and stuff.
And they just don't look good.
They don't look good. They're big. They're loud. They suck. It goes on for too long. Then every time they defeat one, it's like, oh, crikey, there's 5 more of them.
Exactly. And again, I was very unclear about how many there were. And I was like, is this the end of our friendship? And then
and then Sam Worthington's got like this bite and it's like, oh, the venom is in there. And Mads Mikkelsen is kind of good in this movie, and he's telling him like, pray to your father, boy, like fucking save your fucking dumb life.
It's like you're living with the dude who his dad is rich, and it's just like, sorry, I can't make rent this month. Like, no, you got to fucking call your dad, and he's gonna pay me.
That's what? Get on the fucking phone, Jake. Get on the phone and call the Admiral and tell him you need a check for $300 by tomorrow morning.
I didn't say I wanted to cut Medusa's head off. You said you wanted to cut Medusa's head off. So why don't you get it done?
So the Jinn's got like, I'll sneak in and heal him with my, whatever magic from
a bunch
wherever.
He fucking gets in there and rubs a lamp or some shit.
And then everyone's mad at him. Like, what are you doing trying to kill? And it's like, listen, we got to work together for Perseus because I also want gods to die.
Together.
Oh, dude, that sucks. At this point, he's take the helmet off and be a regular guy. And it's like, yes, I will join you. And he's a sexy dude, you know.
Yeah, it's not even it's like, it looks like tree branches all together. Like, this is not armor. This is their bodies. They're like perverted from their dark magic, someone says.
And they have like sharp little teeth and glowing blue eyes.
And they have like a fucking ticking heart that becomes a bomb. Like, they are basically, it's this character, this Jinn character, he's the Predator.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just we have the Predator with us.
You know what? I'm trying to. I can't remember the name of the alien race, but they look exactly, now that I'm thinking about it, like there's some Gleep Glops that are introduced on DS9 that are like the main bad guys.
The Dominion?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Those.
Yes.
Dudes,
Yeah, they do look like
they
the
look
Dominion.
kind of like the Dominion, right?
Yes. Yeah. Totally.
And wait, so Was there another movie that was okay around the time with a blue thing in the center of a chest? That's really important.
Came
to
out
their
maybe 2 years, and then the sequel came out the year that this movie came out.
It turns out that it's kind of an incendiary device if you wanted to use it in such a way. Interesting. I don't know.
I'd say Iron Man could have used some gins in that movie.
Yeah. Honestly, that he should have thought of getting some blue things.
It's like you take the original screenplay, which I believe is credited in the writing credits or whatever, and then you just add in every blockbuster from around the same time to try to make it like surefire. And I guess it was surefire enough. They got a fucking sequel out of it, which the original never did.
What was it? Wrath of
the Titans. Yeah, maybe next summer, folks. If you are unlucky, we will cover it.
I think this is when Zeus shows himself with all those Pegasuses, and he's like, I don't want my special little boy taking the bus. Here, this is a Pegasus. It's much more dignified for a man of your stature.
I mean, I want the Kraken to win, but really, I'm kind of rooting for you too. I mean, I'm torn. What can I say?
Because there's this when Hades comes back, there's a demigod in Argos, and just like, I wrapped it up. Thank you very much. I mean, nothing.
That's what's so amazing about like the reveal of what actually happened is like he sounds like it was just something I did. Like, it didn't cause bitterness and resentment for fucking decades.
It was a sexy prank. God damn it. It was the end of the year spring fling carnival, and it was just a sexy prank.
And you wouldn't believe what Athena gave me for this shit. Never ended.
Throughout the movie, they keep cutting back to what I think is the funniest character in this movie. The religious fanatic guy who looks exactly like the January 6th shaman.
Yes.
And this dude he's running around Argos, and he's just like, we gotta stop talking shit about the gods. We gotta kill that girl, man. They're pissed off.
I'm with this guy. Like, the gods fucking give us boils and lightning and monsters. And all we got to do is kill this woman who's eaten more food than I ever have, and she's 10 years younger.
I was flip-flopping with this dude because I'll tell you what, Steve, you're totally right. Like, this guy's got the right idea, but then at the same time, when he's trying to, like, rally the town, he's like, see? And this is all we got to do. And he puts his entire arm in a fire. And then I'd be like, all right, man, I'll talk to you later.
That's the problem, is he's a bad salesman. If you had taken the face paint off, maybe get a hairdo that doesn't make it look like you spend 20 out of the 24 hours of your day doing yoga. Yeah. Just in fucking God damn it. He pissed me off just a bit.
So it's like so weird. The society rejects religion, but then it's like, fuck, God showed up. And so then I guess it makes sense for them to become insanely religious and have this cultist X.
It does. I mean, because again, like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm not religious because I ain't never seen nobody. Fucking somebody shows up in a fucking lightning bolt. I'm like, tell me where to pray. I got you,
dude. If Liam Neeson burst down into my living room and was like, you better get your act together, motherfucker, I'd be like, holy shit, do I worship you?
Can I use your bathroom? Oh no, it's already done.
Man, Zeus pissed on my floor.
Let me tell you something there, Zeus. I'm not fixing that roof. Better get your fucking buddies down here. Your Furies or whatever. Oh, that's Hades?
We're
Look,
gonna
I give a shit.
So much shit from our super because of this, you son of a bitch.
Listen, I didn't know that. I thought it was rent controlled. How could I have known? You don't own your own apartment? What do you mean you don't own where you live? What a fucked up society. Better get in here and start changing something.
Oh, yeah. See, that's the thing is with gods. They either need to be attentive or die and fuck off.
I agree.
Yeah, that's about right.
Not everyone is pleased with the addition of the Djinns to the team, though. Dude, Davos himself is really pissed off about it. He's telling Nicholas Hoult, like, there was some previous adventure and, like, fuck those dudes. It's a really weird moment. You guys catch this? Like, I don't know if we're taking 5 from Walking Endlessly or whatever, but Davos is, or whatever his name is in this movie, but I'm just calling him Davos. But he's like, yeah, you know, Nicholas Hoult, you can't trust those guys. They're violent monsters, blah, blah, blah. Well, thanks for the talk. And he's like washing his hands or something. And he grabs Nicholas Holt's like skirt that he's got and just dries his hands on it. Like, thanks a lot. I'm drying myself on your clothes.
Because I mean, Liam Cunningham is like one of the only actors with of this fellowship that has like any charisma.
Oh yeah.
So he's trying to use it, and like he's like the funny one, if there is such a thing.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, that's like I hate those guys that they added on to be comic relief. Just give him more to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because they're not even in the. I don't even know what they do in the Scorpion fight.
I have no idea.
They wind up having to go see the Stygian witches, who are the witches they know how to kill the Kraken.
And this is
they're
just
going
so disgusting.
But this is when we
these
start.
witches.
By the way, we start riding a scorpion like
because they realize, just like the Tusken Raiders, dude, like they know how to ride these fucking things. The Jins are
They are
riding.
absolutely.
It doesn't seem like a very effective means of conveyance. They're just kind of wobbling all over the place.
And they say like, oh, we need to make up lost time, so we should ride them. Also, to fucking rest.
Yeah.
You know, Perseus has got a venomed ass hand.
There is a moment, though, where Sam Worthington is like, we're making good time, like my father on a road trip. I was like, what are you doing?
And just past Delaware.
Yeah. Could you put the pedal to the metal on that scorpion, please?
There is a perfect
the
moment.
radar detector's going off. There's a cop behind us. Do they have those anymore? Radar detectors?
They do.
My dad had a radar detector.
You know what's funny? I think even the GPS sometimes, like Google Maps, will point out when not like fully, but
like
they'll be like a report.
Waze will do that. It's like, oh, there's a cop.
Maybe
on.
that's what I'm thinking.
Yes.
Waze has cop reports. Google or Apple Maps will do like they'll tell you if there's a red light camera. Like it won't tell you if there's like cops around because it's not like users submitted like Waze is, but it'll be like caution, red light ahead, shit like that.
You know, I just started obeying the law.
That's a
I'm
good idea.
a little older now, so
There's this
it sucks, but yeah,
absolutely ridiculous scene of the Scorpion like going over like the narrowest pathway. It's like okay, Cyrus, easy. Come on, Cyrus, you know how to do this.
Fucking stairs. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
Cyrus the Ride-on Scorpion. That's a weird kid's book.
I'll write it. And then they go see the Pan's Labyrinth Witch.
Dude.
It's awful. It's awful. I mean,
it's
in the original,
eyeball is in the fucking head.
And
like,
they're just old fucking ladies in that 81 movie.
And
they have like a little crystal
ladies.
ball. They have a little crystal ball, not this fucking grotesque. Like this is like the mutant from 300 that's denounced, or worse than that.
Well,
the
it's
fact that
very
they have
much
no eyes.
the pale man from Pan's Labyrinth.
Which was 2007,
disgusting.
so you better believe we're ripping it off.
We're putting everything from that era in this movie.
Dude, it is a grab bag of better shit you watched in the late aughts.
Again, I was happy
ugly.
at least they were like, you know, in costume, not completely CGI. That's where my fucking the floor is at this point.
It's a weird
didn't
thing
like it.
where, like, in the 81, like we're saying there are three witches. In the 81 movie, it's literally three women.
Sure.
In this movie, for whatever reason, when we're doing shit like this, you can't put a woman in a bunch of gleep glop makeup. So it's three dudes with a bunch of dumb fucking face hugger makeup on. Going like,
get that lady from fucking Macbeth from last year, dude. That lady.
Yep.
She's
That'll
fantastic.
freak you right out.
Ruled.
This movie, the way they do women in this movie is fucking insane, right? Like, at least in that other movie, there's goddesses, there's agency. Andromeda, we get to learn about her and her life. This, I don't know jack shit about her. I don't know jack shit about Iowa or whatever that lady's name is.
I don't think any of the goddesses speak in this movie. I'm not.
They don't.
No,
They absolutely do not.
Wild.
I'm trying to think because, like, in 81, Ursula Andress is Aphrodite.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she has literally one line.
You got
Apparently,
Maggie Smith, you know.
Maggie Smith, a lot of lines in the movie. In that 81, though, apparently Harry Hamlin and Ursula Andress started getting it out. They had a kid together. I didn't even know it.
Yeah. I mean, a man makes figures like that. You know he's good with his hands.
I think that kid's a demigod now.
He is.
Just might be.
I hope he kills Christ or something, or the devil.
Whatever. So these witches are like, oh, you gotta cut Medusa's head off. It's the only way you're gonna do it. By the way, you'll die, Perseus.
This scene is just so ugly.
I know
we're aping Guillermo del Toro, who knows how to do that shit, but this is just disgusting.
Here's the thing, by the way.
Ugly is the right word. It just doesn't look good.
It doesn't look good. The whole space is ill-defined. It's like a cave on a fucking on a mountain ledge, and now we're gonna throw the eye off, and it's just.
It's the setting is exactly Lord of the Rings when he stabs him with the invisible sword.
Yeah. Also,
that's
you're
literally
totally right.
the same place.
Yeah.
And just like he's like, all right, you witches, I'm going to throw your eye around. All right.
Okay.
Well, that's how he gets them to talk, is he
Yes.
threatens to drop their eye off a cliff. And they're like, well, the eye's the only way we can see shit.
Is there any way we can be just a little meaner to the women in this? We're doing good so far.
What's fun? I think it was like even in the original movie, it was like, well, there's there's nothing known to man that can defeat the Kraken, but maybe woman, and that's where we get the witch. There's way more female agency in the 1981 movie.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then they talk about Medusa and how like they warn him about her blood, this, that, and the other thing. That's kind of like the catch about trying to use Medusa for your scheme. Anyway, I'm just disappointed.
That's you should be, Eric.
Then the two Hunter brothers who have done nothing are like, well, we can't fuck around anything with the underworld, so see you later, movie.
But
I'm
here,
like,
before you go,
yes.
equip the shield of Scorpion.
Yep,
Yes.
totally. We've forged you a new shield out of Scorpion's back.
Now make sure to go to your inventory and get rid of your wooden one that's broken, kind of.
Right. And put this one on, which remember, you were able to shove your body through a scene ago.
There is a quick scene where Zeus comes down and he's like, all right, you've had your fun and it's getting kind of embarrassing. So why don't you come up and you can live on Mount Olympus with your old dad? And he's like, I don't want to do that.
Too cool with me, dude.
Absolutely.
Sign me up.
You could be, I'm sure they got fish up there, fella.
But he's talking shit and he's like, for someone who created man, you sure don't know an awful lot about us.
And yeah, that's right. I'm completely independent. Oh, what's that? A small loan of $1 million. Guess I'll take it.
It kind of happens.
He gives him a golden coin. He's like, yeah, I guess I'll keep your coin, even though I'm doing this totally by myself.
I just want to make sure you can afford groceries.
I'll take this coin and take myself to New York City. It's not a podcast.
Now, there's another weird thing here. So, like, when we're getting ready to go to, the site of the river Styx to get on the boat and all that shit to get to the underworld, yes, this is where the two Hunter brothers are like, yeah, we're not allowed in the underworld. And I was like, what's that about? Let's keep going. Like, they fuck off. But then also, if we'll recall, on the big Scorpion caravan out here, there are multiple jinn, like, driving these things. And when we get to this point, it's just the one guy. Where did the rest of those jinn go?
We used them all up, of course. We ate some. A couple died.
Made one's back into a shield.
Yeah, look, we just need things. We use every part of the jinn.
And
because he's the wizard at this point, you can only need one Gandalf. Let's pare this down.
Yes,
okay,
true.
go fight the Balrog that's named Medusa.
Yeah.
I guess that because, as we find out, the jinn has specific powers that make him a little bit easier to handle Medusa as far as a fighter goes.
Right.
And so if you have 7 of them, she's probably in trouble.
And now the rich kid isn't smart enough to know to put that coin in your hand and shake the maitre d's' hand a special way. The djinn has to do it, and then suddenly the boat shows up, and we're able to get going to Medusa's
my
cave.
question is, what's a boatman doing with his cash? What's his situation? Has he got a skag problem, you think?
Oh, definitely, dude. That guy, he's seen some hard times, hard living. He's just getting by day,
I just fell asleep while I'm watching TV, and I'm all fucking messed up.
It's the best job I can have because the boat goes to one dock and then I just stand on the other side of the boat and I push and it goes back to the other dock.
Yeah,
That's a job.
I used to watch Jeopardy every night at 7 o'clock, but then now I can turn around and say, oh, Alex Trebek's right here. So you can just quiz me out, shot.
In 1974, I was there for the first New York Dolls concert in CBGB.
I left around 76. The vibes were fucked. Bicentennial. Really got into people's head in a bad way.
David Johansen knew where to get the good stuff. He was always the guy you wanted to talk to.
When Cobain came down here, man, shit really got lit.
I want this Riverboat Dude's movie, man.
Dude, he loves it. Interesting fella.
would be
He
a wonderful-
loves rock and roll music, doing H.
Yeah.
When I was a roadie for Pro Jam, they always tell you good stories about Eddie Vedder, but I'm going to tell you something. He was a piece of shit to me. Always giving me a side eye.
Yeah, I couldn't get the amplifiers in the truck on time. It's like, man, I'm fucking dead. Come on.
Shit, I gotta ferry some people over. You do the show in Portland. I'll meet you back.
I mean, you're on the tour bus anyway. The fucking equipment come 5 hours later. Who cares?
I got Hades on my ass. The dock is full. They need people.
I gotta go back home, see my missus do a shift.
No, I told you, it's the last ferry until tomorrow. It's not a 24-hour service.
I'm clocking off for the day.
Last boat out, man.
Now just let me ferry some of these fretless basses over to the other side of the stage, and we'll get going.
Oh, okay. So now people found out you're going to do a big concert down in the underworld. Now you got to write a fucking notes app thing apologizing about it. Okay. All right.
We never should have booked the underworld as a place to play. We didn't understand the political ramifications.
Listen, we love, there's not, there's definitely turmoil there, but it's where one of our members calls it a home, and it's a little rough.
Look, we wanted to play with the Doors. What can we say?
We're talking about Big Thief.
We are, which is a band I do like.
Oh,
but,
yeah. They got some hot soup.
Yeah, not great.
Were they going to play Tel Aviv, I think it was?
Yeah.
Whoops a doodle.
But so they're on the boat. And then there's more, again, like there's so many training scenes in this movie. Like,
yes,
the ferryman's boat's got a downstairs, which I found a bit odd.
Very weird. And
hey, man, don't touch my shit down there.
No, let's get out of there, man. Get out. No, listen, I fucking sleep down there, man. My skag's down there, and my collection of illegal fireworks is down there, man.
And
you see going down there and fucking with my shit.
And you see my feet, man? I'm part of this thing. I can feel everything you do, motherfucker.
Listen, I take you in the afterlife. You don't even need to be dead. I just need you to stay above board. Leave my magazines alone.
Yeah,
Get away from my Thin Lizzy tapes, man.
You're supposed to be here for a boat ride, man, not 24/7, all right?
No smoking down there.
I'm not even trying to ride this boat like that.
So we get to the Medusa scene, and honestly, in the original movie, it's fucking tense and cool, and the whole thing is like they're using reflections around the entire cave to see Medusa and sneak up on her and try to kill her. Some of those guys get ganked in a not very ceremonial fashion. The Medusa claymation thing is maybe a little sloppy, but I still like it.
It's way cooler than this fucking CGI nonsense.
This is just so extreme. By the way, of course, because it is whatever year this was, we have to say Medusa's a bitch. Let's go get this
what is
bitch.
That,
Let's get this
man?
bitch.
Trust you. Here it is. I wrote it down because after I wrote down the line, I wrote.
People keep in mind this is ancient Greek we're talking about.
Yeah, I wrote to myself, worst line of film. What he says is because Sam Worthington is trying to give a big motivational speech to all the dudes. By the way, Io can't come in. This is another I can't go in here because she's like, oh, Medusa would never harm a lady. So ladies aren't allowed in, men only. So I'm just going to hang outside the cave and do nothing here. But
I have a Showtime pilot that.
Exactly. And he's doing this whole thing. And this is actually, it's kind of, the part of it is another pseudo fellowship line because he's like, I only knew one great man. Now I know 4 and a woman. And then he points to the djinn and he goes, and whatever the hell you are. And then
he growls because he's Chewbacca.
That's right. Yep, exactly. And then so he goes, trust your senses and don't look this bitch in the eye. And I was just like, that rips you right out of ancient Greece and plops you squarely in 2010
Could you just imagine in The Lord of the Rings, if someone's like, oh, that Galadriel, what a total bitch. It would just take you entirely out of it.
Yeah. Totally, dude.
Oh, the Balrog is a fucking scumbag.
Balrog, fuck you.
These orcs are fucking losers.
Smeagol, you fucking dick.
Fly, you dickheads. Fly. It doesn't work. It shit don't work.
Frodo, pass that shit.
Go fuck your mother, tree man.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, Lord of the Rings could have used some more creative profanity.
Yeah.
Isildur, throw the ring! You piece of shit, Isildur, throw the ring!
I mean,
After all, why shouldn't I fucking keep it?
Shit. I mean, but yeah, I mean, to the point of Medusa, I mean, like, you could have a ball of Play-Doh playing Medusa in this. It would be more convincing and more engaging.
If you're going to make
so
her, because
bad.
I'm imagining in the old one, you know, she was claymation, so she looked like not human at all, probably, right?
Not. Well, like they tried to do a human face, but
Yes.
not really.
But I mean, like, the move here is if you're trying to make her look so human, cast an actress.
Let's
you know
get
what I
a
mean?
person.
And then she's like, "Oh, welcome to my." Maybe she speaks. That'd be kind of
And
something.
this tail is
stunning.
This tail's way too long.
Yeah.
Really long.
Honestly, too many animated snakes on the head. It's just too. And when she shrieks and her whole face morphs into a monster, what are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, you have all of these fucking different little computer characters in this movie to varying degrees.
Yeah.
You can put some lady in a fucking snake suit.
Sure.
And then CGI the rest of it.
And then she's like,
whatever.
you know, and she
Yeah.
says something. No, but she's just a monster.
I mean, it is freaky in the 81 film that she doesn't speak.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's making like monster noises.
It's
and
creepy.
shit.
There's like eerie music throughout that scene,
Not here.
and
No.
it's like
No.
we take our time with it, and we're hiding behind pillars, and it's like slithering sounds. It's like, oh my god, there's a sense there of danger. This is just blah 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 blah. You know,
Yeah.
just shit plopping around me.
You're just waiting for it to be over because you know what the ending is. Like, they're going to cut off. Somebody's going to cut the head off.
Yeah.
And we're going to get to
Yeah,
the crack.
I've seen the poster of the film.
Yes, exactly. So like, whereas like, yeah, the original would at least milk tension for this. This is just like, yep, I get it. You're going to kill off all the other. Okay, great.
I was
Great,
surprised
great,
they
great.
killed off everybody here. They get everybody.
Everybody
Ooh.
eats shit in this scene except for Perseus himself, Sam Worthington.
Davos Seaworth falls into a pit of lava. That's kind of
That's
fun.
pretty great, actually, man. Like, you didn't even get turned to stone.
Nicholas Hoult gets, and the turning of the stone doesn't look good either. Like,
No.
it should be creepier, I think.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing, dude, is we're not going for any kind of like fantasy horror shit. It's
Yes.
just basic bitch action stuff.
Yes.
That's the other thing, too. Like, this whole sequence takes place in a big, you know, open air kind of whatever, where like there's multiple levels and it's actually well lit and all this other shit. The 81, it's a tiny ass room. There's no light. It's very fucking dark. It's very red and weird.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking scary. And this is just bad action. I will say, though,
Yeah.
the funniest death in this movie is Nicholas Hoult standing up on a thing, looks at Medusa like big. He's the first one that you see turns to stone and falls and then shatters on the ground. Ooh, double fucked.
After he screams, "Where are you?" Like Batman Begins.
I like,
Or Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Yes, yeah.
What are you waiting
What are you
for?
waiting for?
yeah, and you can see his cleavage through his little toga there.
Oh, Sam Worthington's tits were right out. It was awesome.
But yeah, the djinn gets wrapped up in Medusa's coil there, and he does start predator laughing.
And he has a bomb within his body. This is the Predator, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen.
Absolutely is. Absolutely.
Out of
is.
nowhere, his heart is a bomb.
And you see it blue and ticking. And he blows up. And it does fucking nothing
It
to
does
her.
jack shit.
Why
Well-
wouldn't it do at least something?
Well, you're showing your ignorance here. You should know that Jinn mythology says they do have heart bombs. They have blue heart bombs that
That's
blow up
fair.
snakes.
That's fair.
Don't you know?
We probably got a lot wrong today. It's just bad.
my heart bomb out of this. Chris Cabin.
Mind your own business when it comes to my heart bombs. This
That'd be
Medusa
cool.
face also looks fucking terrible. I have to say, I just found a note.
Yeah.
It looks like 2002 Scorpion King.
Well,
That's how bad it
you
looks.
need.
It does.
That's why you cast an actress, and then when like you do the close up of her face, it's just a lady with CGI snakes in her hair,
Yeah.
and it looks like. And then ideally, she's giving you a performance. You're like, oh wow, I believe.
wait, a performance.
I know.
That would be something.
I'm asking for a lot.
Man, you know, I wish heart attacks blew you up.
Yeah,
Like,
that'd be
'cause then
great.
I could see, I could do a lot with that. Maybe.
Yeah,
You know?
what? You plan a heart attack, and then, just by coincidence, you plan to give a hug to Brett Kavanaugh. Just a big hug and say,
Listen,
hi, how are you?
Folks, we're not saying anything incendiary there.
No,
We're talking about a
no,
hug.
I'm spreading
okay?
love. Hugs, you hug
But
them.
I'm just saying maybe Jins have that and he's just having a heart attack at that moment.
Oh, my father had one. My great-grandfather had one. Oh, my goodness. I really shouldn't be eating eggs at all, honestly.
It would just be so great if your blood could be trapped in your aorta to such a fucking degree, like the whatever the plaque or whatever what is that?
Yeah,
I
there's
mean,
like,
if that was the
shit.
case, man, they'd have to
Just-
close. They'd have to close Denny's down because people.
Right.
It would just be a fucking bomb derby.
And
oh,
it's
the
just-
city
you-
of Chicago would be a hole in the ground.
Just a blood, like you just explode.
I do have this heart problem, but I do love some sopressata. I just really can't help myself.
And everything in moderation.
I'm cheating on my. Oh no!
But Mads Mikkelsen stabs her tail there, and then he turns to stone. But he's got a cool roguish smile because he's a cool rogue.
Yeah,
That's something.
yeah. Even this is like.
Too much.
First of all, we got the lava pits and stuff which we didn't have.
Yeah,
before.
it's like
Yeah.
it's like
And then
you had
he-
the Terminator 2 kind of.
Yes, especially with the exploding of Nicholas Hoult.
Oh,
Very Terminator 2 ending. But like even Mads Mikkelsen jumps on like a stalactite
Yes.
that then falls down onto that tail. It's
kind of
too
whatever.
much.
Yeah.
It's
Well-
just too much.
Well, because she stabbed him, Eric, so now he's stabbing her
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, and
he's
he's-
getting back.
And like Steve said, he smiles, he turns to stone, and then our hero is able to cut her head off.
That's right. Well, he smiles, by the way, because Sam Worthington, when they're riding the Scorpion, tells some kind of he makes some little amusing comment, and all the dudes start laughing except for Mads, and he's like, "Oh, don't you ever smile?" And he says, "I will smile the day I can spit in the face of the gods."
Yeah, but she's just Medusa.
Yeah, exactly. It's not even he's not even doing the
this
thing.
This is just a pretty lady that got cursed.
Yes.
Oh, you think you can spit on me, do you? You have had some misconsiderations about the afterlife.
So Perseus, literally the only one left alive, puts that fucking head in a bag and goes out there. And this is a really dumb moment because it's like, Io has been waiting out there. She's very distraught. Oh, here he comes. Oh, isn't she so happy? Oh, this other dude's back and he just fucking stabbed her for no reason.
Jason Flemyng just stabs her in the back.
Cresius, yeah. I got stabbed in the back.
And they fight. And he kills him. And when he kills him, something, he resorts to a man. And he's like, "Don't become like them, those evil, rotten gods." And it's like, okay, I guess so. But didn't Zeus help out on this adventure? Like, what am I supposed to believe?
Zeus help out, and isn't your mother a god that helped you out in the actual lore? Anyway,
Yeah, I mean, this is all true. I mean, but Zeus is, of course, busy summoning the Kraken.
Oh, yeah.
So he can't be really dealing with this. But it is nice that his health bar goes up after this.
Yeah, I
Thought
do.
that was nice.
I do love all right, everybody, clear the meeting room. It is kind of funny.
It's just, okay, is the door shut? All right, good. Release the crack.
Hades, did you fuck this for me? Did you fuck me on this?
This whole Kraken deal.
was this a good Kraken or was this like one of your bargain basement Krakens?
Are you still mad because I buried you in the worst place in not just the world, but like the galaxy?
So the Kraken is released. We cut back to the fucking MAGA shaman who's like, you know what? I've had enough of this shit. Andromeda, we're coming for you, lady. And he fucking gets her. She actually kind of comes out as like this whole movie, she's sort of been like, listen, just do it. Like, my life is not worth more than all these other people. Like, just please fucking kill me. Finally, she
shorter,
comes out.
better movie. By
Exactly, right? And so
I have
he
4
grabs
lines.
her,
Please get rid of me.
sets her up, by the way, to the sacrifice of a monster looking exactly like Fay Ray and King
Absolutely,
Kong.
yeah.
Okay.
We cannot think of a single fucking original shot in this movie.
Yeah.
And then here comes the big old Kraken who whoops a doodle looks exactly like the fucking Rancor. That's for sure.
Oh god,
It
yes.
looks awful.
It
Man,
sucks.
you know, I realized I forgot to mention that there is the brief appearance of the metallic owl at towards the start of the movie,
right.
and that is just to set up "This Ain't Your Mama's"
Yeah,
Clash of the Titans.
The metallic owl is all over the original
I
movie.
see.
And it's
Oh.
funny because we're talking a lot about Star Wars and shit. That movie came out in 1981, and it's definitely trying to capitalize off of Star Wars
Absolutely.
in several ways. There's a lot of like Laurence Olivier narration over just stars, basically, including all the end credits. The score is very Star Wars, and this fucking mechanical owl.
He's R2D2.
It's just
okay.
he's
It's
just bleep blooping like R2D2, and you have what's his face? Burgess Meredith.
Yes,
can
he's all
understand
over it.
this fucking. And so it's like, and Burgess Meredith is just like, yeah, that's right. Okay, good for you, Owl. That makes perfect sense. Excellent.
See what you do is you put a penny on his wing, and he flips it into his mouth, and then you'll put another one. He does it. It's a nice way to keep your change.
It looked like the golden Furby from Uncut Gems a little bit.
Oh, yes, it does. But I do like the character design of that metallic owl, and I thought it was fun enough in that original movie. It doesn't really appear until like almost an hour in, but then it dominates that the ending hour or so. But it's mostly just like a device that if they go camp for the night, it'll alert them. It alerts them when the Kraken is released, stuff like that.
But it doesn't fucking do its job. The Kraken shows up.
I would rather have a bleep bloop comedic relief than those traitors that came and went, whoever they were, whatever they were. I don't know what they were, hunters, whatever. I don't know.
Sam Worthington gets a Pegasus and he's flying out to save the day.
Yeah.
And wouldn't you believe it, Hades comes and fucks. Well, when the second he releases the Kraken, Hades like, I'm not actually that weak, and now you're fucked, Zeus. That's right. This is my big plan. And he's like, wow, I totally fell for that one.
Because thoughts and prayers power me, but fear powers you. I'm fucked.
Yes, voters, Hades has done his worst trick yet. Can you send me $5?
Oh, yes, this is so bad. Listen, the Kraken was released. I'm not going to say how or why, but I will need about $7 from each of you to get this Kraken back. I can't fucking believe this Kraken situation.
Yes, we'll get the Kraken back as soon as that $7 is in hand. And of course, I will move heaven and earth to, of course, change the other gods' positions who have clearly said they would not vote to codify Perseus.
Forward. Well, they did it.
Listen, I'm not just a dying old god that is fucking useless in any practical sense in the world. Listen, no, I'm not the U.S. Senate. No. I am Zeus.
When they leaked that the Kraken was going to get released 5 weeks ago, you'd think I'd have a better plan to deal with the release of the Kraken. However, it's going to be another $7, and we'll wait till November to sort this one out.
I thought I'd have an idea from that released memo about the Kraken going to be released, but I didn't, and I needed $7 then, and I need $7 now.
It appears your whole giving history up to this point has been a very generous $35. But I'm just asking one more time if you could kick in $7, and then I'll really be able to get to work and stop that Kraken.
And at the next calamity, be sure to pray harder. Just pray harder, and everything will be okay.
Make sure to pray Zeus whenever you can.
Pray as hard as you can, and maybe, just maybe, fine citizen, with praying and $7 kicked in, we will get swords out of schools.
Vote Zeus, all of use.
All of the rest. Oh, yes. And now all of the other gods are just sitting down watching the Kraken ravage Argos, singing "This Little Light of Mine." Isn't that just so amazing? Isn't that inspiring?
And now Athena's going to read a poem. By the way, vote Zeus, all of use. I want that on a t-shirt. Fuck yeah, Zeus campaign t-shirt. Hell yeah.
Good. Get some fucking order in this place. Whatever. The Kraken kind of sucks.
Yeah,
I mean, it just
does
sucks
suck.
shit. It's a big nothing. But and also like they don't know. They made him a little. I don't know. I don't see the original, but like they made him too big, so there's no fighting to be done here. The only will there, won't they is these Death Eaters show up again and start fucking with Medusa's head to draw this out a little bit more.
Exactly.
He keeps dropping the fucking head bag all the time.
They keep on acting like flying monkeys.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
Interesting.
But he turns him to stone eventually. That's something.
Sure does, which is exactly what he does in the 81 movie.
Which is fine, but I mean, the tension is poor.
Yeah.
You know what I
big
mean?
time.
Because he just shows up. Like I remember pausing him. Like, there's 30 minutes left. The Kraken hasn't even shown up yet.
Yes,
what the fuck are we doing here? And I remember seeing it. I'm pretty sure I reviewed this. I remember seeing it in 3D.
So 5 stars.
5-star review. It was my favorite movie
Should
of the year.
I look it
Hell
up?
yeah.
Should I look up your?
Hell
review?
yeah.
It's probably I don't even
Do you
remember.
think it's been deleted?
Possibly. I don't know.
Yeah, they got rid of everything from you.
They flushed it.
Scrub
Just
that
me.
Chris Cabin
Just
review
me.
archive.
No, but like I remember this is the only time I thought the 3D worked was the chase between the tentacles.
Okay.
Is kind of cool in that when
Sure.
you're on a big screen. That's kind of
yeah,
but like on the on the small screen, you're just like, can we just end this?
Yes,
Can we
exactly.
please just get to the end of this?
The only worthwhile thing is that, you sit through this whole action sequence and whatnot, and then he holds up, Medusa and everything. And it was great. It was made it all worth it because it made me able to write the note, Kraken gets head.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You did it, dude.
I was having a great time with that note.
Listen,
Not with the movie, really.
we just
but-
need $7 and to get the Kraken laid. And I'm sure we'll be able to find some solution. Well, for us gods, not for you wee people.
Chelsea's coming up. Hey, why are you laughing so hard? It's 2 a.m. Are you watching Wayne's World? Or no? Oh no,
No,
it's just
wrote a great note, babe. Killer note. It's not a joke. It's just a note. And then what I'm going to do is just read what the note was. Classic.
Excellent. That's podcasting, ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen.
Hell yeah.
Loving it.
process. All process.
Whatever. And like that's kind of
Oh, the Jan 6 shaman gets crushed by some of the falling stone
Yeah.
Kraken.
Yes,
Pretty
yes,
funny.
yes.
And also, like, he is killing the king, who I have not seen in an hour and 20 minutes. And I'm like, dude, if this is supposed to mean anything, he needs
you?
another scene.
It is comical because there's one point where he just starts. I guess we don't see the moment where this dude is informed that his daughter is about to be eaten by the Kraken.
Sure.
But he just comes running out. He looks like he's been on like a 6-day bender. And he's
Yeah.
like, what's going on? Is the movie still on? Oh my God.
I mean,
it is so fun. And you do have to stop for a second. You're like, who the fuck? Because he's not even dressed the
No,
same. And
he's-
you're just, what the fuck? Oh, that guy.
It's been an hour. I don't remember this guy.
Oh, he was the guy his wife was mouthing off at the beginning of the movie.
Yes.
yeah, just give me a cutaway scene of him like getting drunk in his room or something.
Yeah,
totally.
Just like let me know he's out of it.
Hades made his wife look like the bathtub lady from The Shining.
And after the Kraken goes, Hades is like, I'll get you yet, Gadget. And he's like, maybe in the sequel, bitch. And he just kind of stabs him and
Yes.
sends him back to the underworld.
He says, he's like, I will live forever. And he goes, yeah, but not here.
Yeah, the lightning strikes the sword. I think
Kind of cool
Zeus,
move here.
Zeus is helping juice this up because now the alliance there.
Yes,
because-
I'm going to kill my brother.
Yeah, or banish him again, or
Oh,
whatever.
seems like my little boy, special little boy's in a bit of scrape. I'll just give him some lightning this autumn. This'll get you through to Christmas. Here's some no. Don't tell your mother. Just here, just put it in your hand. Take some lightning. Just take some lightning.
Only buy a little bit of drugs with it. It's mostly for food and your electric bill.
Your mother asks. You don't know where you got that lightning.
It is, I mean, it's kind of cool because he does raise his hand up. The lightning hits the sword and shoots it out of his hand
Yeah.
into Hades' chest, which
Yeah,
is pretty rad.
And it sends him right down to fucking Hades, which is,
yeah, not too bad.
Sure.
And then what's her face has fallen into the water because she falls off the platform.
Oh, right.
And she's drowning or whatever. And Sam Worthington goes in to save her. Kind of a cool shot here of him swimming back up, rescuing her, and the stone head of the Kraken is falling into the
Yes,
sea.
yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty cool shot here. I like
Again,
that.
the
Big
tidal
fucking head.
waves would be like nightmarish. You know what I mean?
don't know why we're not having bigger like fucking typhoon waves.
I don't
in this
know.
movie.
Is the Mediterranean like very not deep?
No, I'll
Like,
tell you.
What is going on?
No,
Is it kiddie pool?
a CGI version of this.
Oh, the
Oh.
finger thing and the money.
Yeah,
Like,
it just and whatever. And then like again, like this should be them, and then they kiss or something. But he's like, no, I won't be your king because no reason.
Yep.
You should just do it yourself. You're better than me or
It's
something.
a stupid like I'll be more helpful to you as a soldier, a warrior.
Okay.
Could you, do you have I can't believe I'm asking this. Do you have a date of birth you could share with me? Just so I could, because I feel much more at home with Gemma Arterton. She's my age. I could tell. I don't have any questions. How old's your father?
You got any ID?
That's the one thing me dad taught me. Didn't teach me how to do lightning. Just said always ask their age. And now it served me well.
He fucked that shit up all the time. He was impregnating 16-year-olds. It was disgusting.
Also, learning from his mistakes, ripping it up. Definitely ripping it up.
Which is now a wood-based contraption.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. I do like it's Perseus and what's her face, Andromeda, and they're like washed up on the shore, kind of like Planet of the Apes, actually.
Yeah.
And the fucking Pegasus is kind of like, hey, wait. He's like the horse is like pounding its foot on the beach, like, wake the fuck up. Come on, you got a few minutes left of this movie.
The credits are coming. Come on.
And he's just like off to another. And then like Zeus comes out. Oh, I'm proud of you, my son. And just, you know what? Make this nice and square. I brought your girlfriend back to life. Don't ask me how or why.
I'm not gonna have my son sitting around not getting laid.
Yeah. So here she is. Oh wait, she's crying. She's saying, "Kill me, kill me." I was finally happy. Ooh, good luck, Perseus.
She saw Hades' ocean of intestines, and she just wanted to stay right there.
I just love that we took like this romantic epic and turned it into like, yeah, fuck you, kingdoms. Bleh, I'm gonna go get laid.
Yeah.
See you in the next movie.
It was the 2010s, and we loved that shit. I mean, we still love that shit now.
Yeah.
But there were movies for fucking guys.
There's been movies for guys for years.
Yeah, and this is a movie for guys.
This is I literally started laughing out loud. This fucking Pegasus flies toward the camera to signify the end of the movie to a cut to a blackout, just like a fucking flying DeLorean. Are you even kidding me?
Do you think they changed the Pegasus in this movie from white to black so that there's no like TriStar logo?
Oh, could
Type of
totally
thing.
be. Yeah. Plus, it's easier to make this blackout gag if you just have a black horse flying at the
Also,
camera.
you know, your fucking shitty fake wings will look better if we can barely make them out.
Yep.
Percy, when this horse hits 88 miles an hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
Serious horse shit.
No, it's not you. It's your demigod children that we need to check on.
You get Huey Lewis. It's a fucking flying horse. Ba-da-da, 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 fucking flying horse.
I just need to put a banana in it. It's a fucking garbage.
It's got some scorpion poison in here. It'll function like gasoline. And that's the end of the movie, folks.
Woo!
That is the end of 2010's Clash of the Titans. Final thoughts and recommendations, Chris Cabin.
Absolutely not. Get the fuck out of here with this shit. It's a video game movie. Like all the other stuff to me is secondary to the fact that it feels like I'm playing a video game, which I'm sure there was a video game for this movie.
I think there was actually
that nobody bought. It just nothing. I really don't have anything positive to say about it other than it's under 2 hours, which go with God.
Steve Sadak.
You know, it's definitely not a recommend. I remember liking it enough as I watched it. Not liking it enough, but being like, this is boring. Not being bored. That's what I should say.
Okay,
I was not bored when I was watching it. It was ugly, muddy, and stupid. And but the weirdest part about it was, you know, a little earlier this week we did the Thor episode, which was last week's episode.
Right.
And I remember the next day, like I just kind of kept going back to that movie, like, you know, that scene was this and this scene was that. I couldn't remember a fucking thing about this movie today. And it was I just watched it yesterday. I was pretty sober. And I took notes on the whole thing.
Yeah.
This movie evaporated the second it was over.
Oh, yeah.
And it just, that's why it's the same thing with the public consciousness, I imagine, as well. So yeah, it's a not a recommend. It's a light not recommend.
We'll save Sergeant Sword and Sandal for the last thoughts. I will just say, I think the only reason I was able to remember this movie that we're talking about today, one, yes, copious note-taking, which I always do. But also, it's because immediately afterwards, I watched the 1981 movie, which has enough of the same story progress that I was able to just be like, all right, and then this is when they go do this, yada, yada. Muddy, gross video game movie. I was not bored. I was not bored either. I was pretty surprised about that because, like, Sword and Sandal, not generally my bag. But it held my interest. But like, it is dumb. It looks like shit. Really bad storytelling decisions, especially when you had some pretty rad source material. I was glad I watched the 81 version, which you all should do instead. It's on HBO Max here in the States right now. Sergeant Sword and Sandal.
Yes, I do like Sword and Sandals movies. I wish they made more of them. Not like this.
Good ones. They would be nice to be good ones.
It would.
Have you seen
be
that movie
something?
Immortal that sort of came out around this time? That's another Sword and Sandal picture.
No, I have not.
Isn't that a Tarsum picture?
It is, yes.
Yeah.
I should check that out, though. I should expand my horizons beyond this and Conquest from like 1980 or
Where
whatever.
Luke Evans actually plays Zeus in that movie, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, my opinion on this movie is it's trash. I hated it. I love the 81 version. I think it's kind of a flawed masterpiece. I think that one's definitely worth checking out, at least for those, stop motion effects. I think are really breathtaking.
Shit, man.
Yeah, I think they're really, really great. But this, I would not recommend. No, this I kind of hated it, and I want to quickly say, there's nothing wrong. Like, you can actually make a love story that men can be invested in. I know it sounds insane.
Yeah,
I know that it sounds fucking sane.
It's nuts, Eric.
But I honestly want, I want a love story here.
Romance. Some real romance. That would be
do.
nice. Goes with swords and sandals, you would think.
Of course, it should at least.
Anywho, that's my 2 cents. It's okay to like a movie if you're a dude from the Spike TV era that has been frozen in a 7-Eleven freezer trying to get the last moon pie or something.
Spike TV.
And
Exactly.
Apu keeps ignoring you.
Yeah. Yeah.
What year is it? That's gonna do it, man. That is Clash of the Titans from 2010, directed by Louis Leterrier. Holy smokes! Maybe we'll see Wrath of the Titans in the 2023 Summer Blockbuster Extravaganza.
Directed by not our French bulldog friend, but I believe the guy that did like Ninja Turtles 2014.
Yes, that guy, Jonathan Hensley.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think is that guy's name?
Sure.
Why not?
It is the guy who directed that first Michael Bay Turtles movie.
Right, which is we did a commentary on years ago.
Oh,
that
right.
is on Patreon, among other offerings.
Speaking of Patreon, folks, if you want more We Hate Movies, patreon.com/We Hate Movies. This July, we got a big, bad We Love Movies episode all about the best MC movie, IMO, Iron Man 3, directed and written by Shane Black. That was a lot of fun putting that out.
Yep. We got Melrose coming out again. This one, very Steve Sanders centric.
Hell yeah.
90210. It's quite something.
There's
Love
also
seeing that curly-haired fuck get humiliated. Sorry,
we are
Steve.
talking about Reboot on Animation Damnation.
Oh, I'm excited.
Utter
Finally.
nonsense.
The
ladies.
CGI continues.
Yeah, I'm excited.
That's very excited on the Gleep Glossary, which is a Star Wars sideshow where I read about the expanded universe characters to these guys, and they make fun of me and it. We are talking Forlom this month. Because wait, this is
that a character on
July.
Reboot, or is
This
that
is
a Star
July.
Wars character?
that is a character on Star Wars.
Although,
and
if you
probably
told me
Reboot.
that it was a character on Reboot, you'd have been like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Of course it is.
he's a droid bounty hunter, not as cool as IG-88. Google him, you'll love his work.
Oh, the fly head guy.
yeah, he's got like an insectoid head.
Yeah.
And then here on the main feed, of course, the Summer Blockbuster Extravaganza 2022 continues next week, Steve, with what?
Oh man, I don't know. We got to lose our virginities, guys. All
Whoa.
four of us. We'll see
I
what
can't wait-
happens.
I can't wait to lose my virginity.
It's American Pie, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
This bed is a fire with passion and love.
I'm coming in pies next week on the show.
I don't think he gets to finish in the pie, but
if my dad caught me, I'd fucking finish. Dude. That's
fucking
part of the point of fucking on the fucking island.
well, fucking what's his face?
Eugene
Thomas
Levy.
Ian Nicholas comes in a little red Solo cup.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
for sure.
yeah. And who could forget Shitbreak as well?
No Shipwreck, of course. It's
all
gonna
the
be
classics.
It's gonna be fucking wild. I cannot tell you the last time I
I have
watched
not
this
seen this in eons, yet I
long
remember a
time.
lot about it. So I'm excited to revisit it with these fresh little eyes.
Absolutely. So until next week, when Eric's fresh little eyes get a peeper full, I'm Andrew Jupe.
Steven Sadak.
Eric Siska.
Chris Gavin.
Take it easy.
That was a HeadGum podcast.